A young black man at the age of 23 stands to speak in front of more than 200,000 demonstrators. All these people involved themselves in the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in the nation's capital. This moment was the accomplishment of all the hard work that one individual devoted his life to aiding his brothers and sisters in the fight for freedom. Although he was a keynote speaker, he began the topic that the protesters were speaking for. His voice was just as important as his role model, Martin Luther King Jr. This young man's name was John Lewis. John Lewis was an African-American born on February 21, 1940 in Troy, Alabama to a family of sharecroppers. He was a hard-working young man who overcame poverty and social inequality to educate himself. At the age of 15, Lewis first heard about Rosa Parks and Dr. King speaking out against segregation. Upon seeing that there were those who were willing to speak up against injustice, a new goal was set for him to accomplish in speaking out as well. They were his role models of the time to work towards being involved with activist groups. With his new inspiration, Lewis decided to study philosophy and nonviolence in order to strive for the changes that he and numerous other African Americans wished for. In 1961, Lewis joined the SNCC and the Freedom Riders, receiving threats for their challenge against segregation at interstate bus terminals. His devotion to SNCC was still strong, and his noticeable dedication was recognized in 1963 when Chuck McDew stepped down for being chairman of the SNCC. Lewis was voted to be the new chairman of the committee by other members without hesitation. Later on, as the SNCC's chairman, Lewis was chosen to write a keynote speech that would be incorporated before MLK's famous I Have a Dream speech in the March on Washington protest. The first draft of his speech was viewed by the other speakers as being a little too aggressive in wording, so he made a few adjustments that still made him feel as though the speech was powerful. The fact that the injustices had been blatantly obvious made the notion that they were discussing prove that change was going to happen relatively quickly. He stated, "To those who have said, 'Be patient and wait,' we must say that patience is a dirty and nasty word. We cannot be patient, we do not want to be free gradually. We want our freedom, and we want it now. We cannot depend on any political party, for both the Democrats and the Republicans have betrayed the basic principles of the Declaration of Independence." Even though the dependence on political parties proved to be pointless, he pushed towards people working together to act for freedom themselves. Even with the mention of change, there were always implications that with unity came the struggle of making the community better. We all recognize the fact that if any radical social, political, and economic changes are to take place in our society, the people, the masses, must bring them about. In the struggle, we must seek more than civil rights. We must work for the community of love, peace, and true brotherhood. Our minds, souls, and hearts cannot rest until freedom and justice exists for all people. The March on Washington had a large impact on civil rights, since the large icons that stood against segregation were involved in speaking for the people who were under the oppressive hand of the white government. This event brought together those of all opinions, whether they were black or white, to listen to those whose statements rang straight and true against inequality. John Lewis was one of the many individuals that made this movement prove something of people who were nobodies or outcasts. He wasn't as largely known as Martin Luther King, Jr. or Rosa Parks at the time, but his voiced opinion was just as valued in the protest as any other. Be male or female, young or old, black or white, or of any difference, you can speak out your voice against injustices if you work with diligence and dedication to work towards a better future.